We've told a fair share of JT stories.
We have, yes.
On the podcast. She's also been on the podcast live.
That's true. Lindsay Lohan.
Live and in person.
Yep.
Okay. My dad got a new truck.
Yes, you did get a new truck.
Been all my mom can talk about. They came over for brunch this morning. Mm-hmm. And Mom's like, oh, we're going to drive Dad's new truck so you can see it. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay. So after brunch and when they were leaving, I walked outside with them. And I'm like, what color is the truck? And Mom's like, oh, it's blue. It looks kind of black, though. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but whatever. And so I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, it is like really looks almost black. She's like, it's different in the sunlight. I saw it in person a couple days ago, and I can agree, it does kind of look weird, like coloring wise. Yeah,
like, it's a weird,
and so
dark
like,
blue
and she's like, oh yeah, and there's this cool feature where if you have the key fob and you're holding it in your pocket, like you can just unlock the door.
Yeah. And
she walks up and she's like, oh, it's not locking. And I was like, okay, well, she's like, maybe the battery's like going in the thing. And she's like, let me just like unlock it with like the fob itself. And so it's still not unlocking, but I'm like hearing the lock and unlock noise, and I'm like, that's weird. And then she's like, well, I'll just take the key thing out of the thing and turn it in. I'm like, I'm looking inside the truck, and I'm like, why the fuck are there like Ensure Pedialyte bottles in the cup holder? Like, surely you guys aren't drinking those. And I'm like, is this the right truck? And Mom just looks around the truck that we're currently pulling the handle on, and the truck is on the other side. So we're like, oh shoot. So we like walk away because I'm like, someone's gonna like come out and think we're breaking into their truck. Yeah, so it was a truck right next to it that actually looked blue. Mm-hmm. Same exact truck, just different colors.
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm. Exact same truck. And then I was like, oh, so that's why it didn't open.
God.
Mom's like, nope, this is the truck. This is the truck. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like,
yeah.
She looks around. She's like, oh no. And then I'm like, well, we need to go.
We need to go to the other one.
Currently trying to break into this car. So, and then she also was texting this morning when she was over. She was texting friend and past guest host Audrey's mom about a party shower event coming up. She was RSVPing. Okay. So I had texted her like 2 minutes prior to be like, hey, I'm going to come. And then Mom texted her and was like, I will be there. And then Audrey's mom was texting back, but she thought she was texting me. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, that's funny. Like, your mom just texted. And then she was like, and then it just kept going on. And then they were both getting confused, like who was texting who. And then Audrey's mom was like, this is going to be one of those things that people screenshot and put online, like as a joke thing. And it like kept going.
Just kept going forever.
Yeah. Oh, so boy. I'm like, JT's just really coming in with the stories.
She is.
Yeah. So we almost broke into a truck.
That happened. I saw her last Sunday. She had brought me some Easter food. We met at like a gas station. And she was like, oh, I'm going to get gas. Because she had brought that, the truck, and was showing me it. And she was able to open the door because it was actually the right truck. But I was like, she's like, where's the door to open the door to get gas? And I was like, okay, you just push it to open it. And then it's one of the trucks where it doesn't have an actual cap for the gas. It's just, you just push in, and it's like a little slide door. And then I was like, oh yeah, and then you just put the nozzle directly in. And she was like, yeah, I probably wouldn't have figured that out if I had been here by myself. And I was like, God. That's fair, like, but I mean, to be fair, she's never had a car that's had the push thing in that before, and I've seen that, like, in, like, our car has the push door in, but I've had, one of our work trucks has the, like, you just put it straight in nozzle, but I thought it was funny. I was like, oh boy.
She also brought a pack of mechanical pencils and said, I can't figure out how to get the lead in these. Can you show me how? To be fair, like, normally when you pop the eraser, normally when you pop the eraser out, you can put the lead in. Yeah, it wasn't like that. Like, I popped the eraser out.
You put it in the top. Instead.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I don't know. So I just was like, well, just hold it down and shove it in that way. And she's like, oh. I used to do that. I brought these because I never would have known.
I used to do that in school sometimes. Yeah. If you just put,
because when the eraser,
one piece,
and when the eraser would get like sheared off and you couldn't pull it out, then you put it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm like, how long has she been using mechanical pencils and just waiting for an opportunity to... She brought them with her.
Why couldn't Dad have explained that? Why couldn't he have done that?
I don't know.
Sometimes I question that, where I'm like, maybe she just doesn't want to ask him things because she does that too many times, and, it's a matter of, I gotta ask somebody else.
She said, I was trying to figure it out, and then I realized I'd be coming to your house, so I said, I'll just put it aside, Hannah can figure it out. And I was like, fair.
That's fair, yeah.
But yeah, so... JT fuels content for our podcast.
Oh yeah, all the time.
But yeah, you will hear about the texting story at the shower because Audrey's mom said, I can't wait to tell the girls about this one. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Yeah. Amazing.
Good times.
Incredible. Good times. JT.
Breaking into cars.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. It's March Madness, baby. 2024.
March Madness. I am so excited.
I'm pumped.
I love these episodes.
It's great. Hello, everyone. This is Research Rank Repeat. I am co-host Alyssa.
This is co-host Hannah.
And today we are back to return to our March Madness bracket, Mascot Mayhem.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, every year there is a bracket tournament system for the men's college basketball teams, NCAA basketball, right? I'm saying that correctly,
yes,
right?
It's the National Collegiate Athletic Association or something like that.
Okay, yes. I just want to make sure I'm not embarrassing myself.
No, you're correct.
But for the past 3 years, we have taken the brackets established for the year, the tournament, and we put the mascots of those teams head-to-head in a bracket-style system, same way the teams do. And at the end, one will come out on top.
Yeah. Do you want to be on top?
Ba-na-na-na.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyra, tell us well.
And this year was, like, kind of cool because there was 22 new teams.
There were.
Which was 34% of the bracket, which is cool. We love new mascots. We had 7 that were returned from 2022.
Yes. So they were not in the tournament last year, but they've come back.
Yeah, they were in it the first year we did it and then have made a comeback this year. There was also 28 teams that have been in all 3 years, which makes up 44% of the bracket. So less than half.
Less than half of the teams have been present every single tournament, including our fan favorite, Gideon.
Gideon. Woo.
Gideon's back again. Can't shake him.
Nah.
Can't ever leave.
Yeah, and then 8 teams returned from 2023 that had joined in 2023. What does that mean?
So, 8 teams that were new from last year came back. So only 8 of the new teams.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So 8 teams that debuted in 2023 have returned this year. So not very many. Not very many teams that were new last year have come back this year.
Yes.
That's what that means, yes.
I got you.
Yes.
I was thinking this year was 2023 and I got confused as 2024. Yeah. And then 36 teams total returning from last year. So the 8 teams returning made up 12.5%, and then the 36 teams total that came from last year made up 56%. So just over half of the field. But yeah, we got a lot of new teams.
We do.
We got some mascots that aren't in it that we're very sad about.
Yeah, I know. We lost, and I'll go over that because I have our Final Four teams for both years. I went and got those because I thought that'd be interesting to look at. For last year, 3 of my Final Four teams weren't in it this year, which was very upsetting. We lost some good ones. Joe Bruin,
because Joe Bruin. He won one of my years, and he was in my Final Four the last year.
Joe Bruin. Joe Bruin was in our Final Four both years for both of us. We all had Joe Bruin. He's a great mascot. Joe Bruin is gone. But just to look at our what we left off with for our last 2 years. In 2022, my Final Four was Shasta, the cat from Houston, Sparty, fan favorite, as a fellow Spartan ourselves. We have a deep love for Sparty from Michigan State. Then Joe Brune, the bear from UCLA. And then lastly, in my 2022, I had Sebastian the Ibis from Florida. And he, unfortunately, is also not in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
Sebastian was actually my winner to go to 2023. He was my winner of 2023.
Okay.
In 2022, my winner was Shasta.
Okay.
And then 2023, it was Sebastian.
Okay.
For Hannah, you had Sparty and Joe Brune also in your 2022 Final Four. You had Blaze, the dragon from UAB, who's actually back this year. And Webster, the spider from Richmond, who has only been present in that one tournament. Never to be seen again. In 2023, you had Sparty winning the whole thing.
Yes.
Yes, Sparty won. Michigan State, you gave him the win. But you also had Joe Brune again.
Yeah.
You had Shasta this year.
Yes.
In 2023. I didn't have Shasta in 2023. And then you also had Billy Blue Jay. Surprise hit Billy Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Which he is in the tournament this year,
yeah.
I believe. I think.
Yep, Crichton.
But yeah, so looking at especially just looking at our brackets from last year, you have 3 returning champions of your Final Four. 3 of your 4 have returned. For me, all I have is Sparty, and that's it. All the rest of mine are out. But we're back. It's a brand new year. We have brand new matchups, and we'll have to see what it comes down to. Because I had some shakeups this year, Hannah.
Same.
And I'll get to it. I have a special note I added where I had a contentious matchup last year that I was really having a hard time picking. This year, same matchup. I went the opposite. I picked the different mascot, and I'll tell you when we get there because it's really really something.
There was even some first round tough calls.
There were some tough first round calls, and not in they were good. It was they were both bad, and I had a tough time. Oh yeah,
and you had to pick which one was least problematic.
Yeah, I had to pick some people I didn't think I'd ever pick.
No,
who've been returning classics. So
yeah.
We'll get to it. But otherwise, we don't really have any other background. We've kind of talked about like what March Madness is, what the bracket system, NCAA, like college basketball. So
yeah,
I think we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, we will. So how we've done this in the past is we each take turns reading off the matchups. Alyssa's so nicely put in previous comments that we've made. And we'll just describe them a little bit. So I will start off. Do you have anything before I start?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to get my, camera light to autocorrect. But also, I was saying Hannah also, as she has for the past 2 years, has generously put together our photos and teams in order so we can follow them as we go.
And very new to this year, we decided it was smart to keep track of how long they've been in the tournament. So we did add that. Okay, so first matchup is UConn, who's Jonathan the Husky, out of Connecticut, has been in the tournament all 3 years. Alyssa had said in the past that the Husky head looks accurate. Looks like he's wearing boot-cut pants, though. And Jonathan is basically like a white Husky. He's got, like Alyssa said, boot-cut pants on. Mostly white, but some gray and black mixed in, and a pretty nice-looking mascot. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Going against a new team, Stenson. Mascot's name is John B., and it's a school in Florida. Stenson is like a little old cowboy ranger. He's got the handkerchief necktie around him. He's got the cowboy hat. He's got like a coat with like the gloves and some suspenders and just like a good old Johnny Cowboy situation.
It's a real John Wayne.
Yeah.
If he had a foam head.
Yeah, and his smile looks like he's just murdered / kicked a bunch of people off their land.
He does have a suspicious smile.
Yeah, he looks like he's proud of something he did that was bad.
He's got a little bit of like a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went with Jonathan, the Husky.
I also went with Jonathan, if it was a surprise to anyone.
Yeah. John B. wasn't doing it for me.
I sometimes like, and we'll get to it, because I did pick some weird caricature humans, because every once in a while, I think they're fun. They work. This one's just kind of like, I don't know. Nothing special about it. Yeah. It's a little upsetting, unpleasant. Yeah. So, Jonathan it is.
Jonathan.
All right. A returning favorite this year, we have from Florida Atlantic University, Owlsley, who joined the tournament last year. Hannah and I both really liked this mascot. We also don't get a lot of owls, so it was nice to see some variety from the usual eagle bird type of mascots. Alyssa, or I don't know why I said in the third person, I described Owlsley as being bright-eyed, cheery, and a good designed face, and Hannah said she was very impressed by this mascot. And honestly, it's a well-designed mascot. It's got big blue eyes, pretty defined eyebrows, and a beak, and like a large face, but it's well-designed. It looks nice. I think it hits the right level of like fun and like intimidating, and it's a good mascot. I support Owlsley.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
Going against, from Northwestern, Willie the Wildcat out of Illinois. This mascot joined last year in 2023. It's back again. Hannah described this mascot as, well, laughing. I wrote the note that she laughed while said that. Looks like he's an 80-year-old, has a basic body. Mm-hmm. And then I said it looks like when old men have random tufts of hair and mutton chops. And I think that's pretty accurate. It's like a really wrinkly gray cat suit, and then this like kind of rat cat looking head with a lot of tufts. I will say it I think it's pretty accurate to say it's just got random tufts of hair going on. Do anything else to add to the description?
No, basically I didn't pick Willie. I picked Owlsley, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, Owlsley as well.
That was a pretty easy choice.
Was a pretty easy choice. I think the last year we had Willie Wildcat as well. I think we both declined to pick him. So, not a surprise.
Next, oh joy, we have San Diego State, which has been in it the entire time. It's the Aztec Warrior, and I wrote a note that this one's a little tricky. It still shows this mascot, but it also said in 2021 they were in the process of making changes. As of 2023, there was still no update on when the mascot will be changed. As of this year, still no update, but apparently at last year's NCAA basketball tournament, they did not let this mascot travel with the team because of backlash they were receiving. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know if they currently have a mascot, but on their site they still list this as the mascot. But I also wrote a note that it doesn't really matter because it will lose anyways. And there was a comment that just said, yikes.
Yeah.
Going against UAB, Blaze out of Alabama. UAB has been in it in 2022 and came back this year in 2024. Alyssa said not intimidating or built. Pete or Puff the Magic Dragon and friendly. I said pretty cool and fun. Basically just a green dragon having a good time. I didn't describe the Aztec Warrior, but it's just a problematic man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I picked Blaze.
Yeah, I picked Blaze too. It was a pretty easy choice, but Blaze is also a cool mascot.
Yeah, so, I think I talked about this with someone at work recently. We were talking about mascots, like problematic mascots. And the one thing that kind of came up is that essentially like some teams that work in partnership like with a tribe or with like indigenous peoples and like agree, like are fine with it. Like for instance, the Chippewas for Central Michigan, they have a mascot that like there is like a partnership between the local tribe and the school that they can use that imagery. And so some teams are fine with that. This one, I don't feel like is like it should be gone. Essentially, is what I'm saying with this one. This is one of those ones where like if there's enough backlash that they don't even want their mascot to travel with them, and they're in the process of changing it, I feel like it should probably not be there. So Blaze was an easy pick.
Blaze wins.
All right, so in our next matchup, we have from Auburn, we have Aubie the Tiger out of Alabama. This mascot has been here all 3 years. Hannah described him as Tigger, a little bit older, but chill last couple years before collecting Social Security. I said he looked like a hippie tiger and relaxed. And I think that's pretty accurate. He's just here to hang out. He's just chilling.
Yeah.
Against, out of Yale, Handsome Dan, who is a bulldog. Yeah. And if we'll find there are many bulldogs in this tournament this year. Surprising number of bulldogs. Out of Connecticut. So this team was actually in 2022 and has returned this year in 2024. Hannah had described him as a bulldog, nice face, teeth coming through. He's got a little bit of an underbite, as you would suspect with a bulldog. I feel like the face head is a little bit more caricature than some of the other bulldogs. Feels a bit more like Looney Tunes feel to it. So I picked, where did I just lost my obby. Oh, I actually did pick Handsome Dan, the bulldog. I thought I liked this a little bit better. I thought the mascot design is pretty well done. Yeah. I support it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I also picked Handsome Dan. I think it's a little bit more mascot-y, a little bit more intimidating. Obby doesn't really look intimidating. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so we have a BYU, Brigham Young, out of Utah. New team this year, and we have Cosmo the Cougar. He's just, he's a cougar. He kind of looks like our high school cougar mascot.
Yeah, our elementary school also had a cougar mascot, and his name was Cosmo as well.
Just a very basic cougar. The face is like a little bit like small, kind of a small head. Got some fur coming off.
It's got like weirdly like huge tufts of fur around
on the shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty basic cougar. And then we have a new team. How do you pronounce that? Do you know?
No idea.
I could try to look it up. Duquesne?
Duquesne? I'll look it up a minute.
Duquesne.
I'm assuming it's probably Dutch or something. It's out of Pennsylvania. Covenant pronunciation. Right. Duquesne?
Oh, Duquesne.
Duquesne.
Okay. Duquesne, which is out of Pennsylvania, and the mascot's name is Duke. Duke is kind of looks like what's his name? The one that I was attracted to.
Killian.
Kind of looks like a leprechaun a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
He's got like a top hat, like this blue top hat, and he's got like red gloves, and he's just kind of got like chiseled butt chin kind of.
He almost looks like a coach driver.
Yeah.
Like a carriage driver.
Yeah.
Is the vibe I got.
Yeah. You know what? I went with Duke.
I went with Duke too.
Yeah.
I thought it's like, this is one of those caricatures that's like not offensive and not scary. It's just kind of fun. And like Cosmo was kind of boring and not like super exciting to look at. So I also went with Duke. Surprising.
Why not?
Yeah. A surprise. Okay. So, next up we have out of Illinois, another team that has been in the tournament all 3 years. And this one is also a controversial mascot in that they previously have had chief mascots, and in 2020 they voted on a new mascot to be a kingfisher, which is a type of bird. As of 2023, there was no mascot, but in 2024 they did have a mascot for their freshman move-in, but unsure if this is present at like their basketball games.
Yeah, because they announced the mascot and like they had it like at the register, like move-in stuff like that. But I haven't found anything on if it actually like is the official mascot
or if it has a name or
right.
So unclear. So there is technically maybe a mascot now, but still unsure if it's like the final product one. So we're just gonna say maybe it's the bird. It's also up against another bird, a new bird from Morehead State called Beaker out of Kentucky. And this is definitely an eagle, probably a bald eagle, just by the way it's designed. It has kind of like very large, like talon-looking feet and like kind of built arms with some like feathers coming out on the sides. And then we have like a huge head, like a massive like curved beak. It's pretty accurate to like actual eagle proportions. Like a very large head, looks somewhat angry. Pretty well designed, I think. It's a solid design. And I picked Beaker because I thought it was a better bird than the kingfisher that we currently maybe have, but unclear.
Yeah, I also went with Beaker, kind of for the same reasons. I'm not really impressed with kingfisher bird, man.
Yeah, at least the one we see right now.
Yes.
It's kind of like looks a little sad.
Yeah. Okay. So we can get rid of the sad bird.
Mm-hmm. Sad bird can go.
Okay. So, okay, next we have a new team, Washington State, and it's Butch T. Cougar. I wrote a note that says, what the actual fuck, because this man's face is very odd. It's like the body is very small, but it's like this cougar head, and it's like got black, like, circles around the eyes, and then, like, these two, like, teeth. But it just looks very strange.
It almost looks like the Fusa from Madagascar, but which is also an actual animal in real life. And, like, weirdly has, like, 2 rows of teeth in the middle of its mouth.
Yeah. It's just very strange.
Like, it almost looks like your cats when they, like, have their mouths open. Like, Cash has his mouth open. It's just, like...
It would almost look better if they just had kept it all black or, like, added more teeth.
I don't really get the teeth situation.
No.
To be completely honest. I would not... If I looked at that, I would not think cougar.
No, it doesn't really look like a cougar, does it?
No. Like, I think, like, more African mammal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even, like, an ocelot or, I don't know, looks more like... Or even, like, a rat. It's got more, like, rat-type features.
It does.
It's kind of weird.
So I just don't like it. Going against Drake, who is Spike, another bulldog out of Iowa. And they have been in the tournament since last year, which last year I said big mouth, good proportions. Lissa said perfectly fine mascot. And you know what? A perfectly fine mascot wins against that atrocious whatever that thing is.
Spike, perfectly fine mascot.
Spike wins.
Like the star detail around the eyes. Like, it looks like almost like a star, but it's also like eyelashes. I think that's kind of a fun addition to add.
And I like how, like, big the head is. Like, it feels big, but not, like, over the top. So, yeah.
It feels like good proportions,
Yeah. Okay. So, bye to you, Butch.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye, Butch.
Bye. I forgot the title. Get out of here. Okay. All right. Oh, God. Okay. Out of Iowa State, Cy the Cardinal, who has sadly been in it every year of this tournament. I described this bird as being the face that would show up in my sleep paralysis dreams, waiting to take me to hell. Hannah said, very big mouth, crazy blue eyes, mouth looks like a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, this cardinal, I don't understand what they were thinking. It has a smile that goes for miles. As one of the contestants on America's Next Top Model said, one of the cycles, it's just scary. Like, if I was a child and this came up to me, I would scream and cry probably. I'd probably be like, this is horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
It is
horrifying. Iowa State, get it together. Cy needs a makeover.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it.
And then, out of South Dakota State, we have Jackrabbit, who originally was in the tournament in 2022 and has returned this year. And he is a jackrabbit, but Hannah said he looks like more like Bugs Bunny, cool with a backwards hat to appeal to the youth. I said he looks kind of like Rita Rabbit, appeal to the skater kids. He's very friendly. He's got like the backwards cap. He looks like he's like, hey kids, I'm Chuck E. Cheese. Like, he's kind of more meant for the children than the adults.
Yeah.
But a well-designed mascot. He's just very friendly.
Yeah.
And I picked Jackrabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a hard choice because the other one makes me want to just cry.
Yeah, I'll never pick Cy unless I have to. Unless it's against Gideon. Cy would win against Gideon because I think anyone would win against Gideon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, easy pick.
So glad we get to delete Cy's photo.
We've actually had the same picks. I was going to say, we've had the same pick, haven't we? Yeah, we haven't had any,
I will say, different. I felt like the first half of the bracket was easier to pick. When we got to the other side, too. It was like a little bit harder to choose.
I feel like first round was much easier. I kind of noticed that, like, when I did my first half, it was easier to pick than the second half, so I agree.
Okay. We have North Carolina, Ramses?
I think it's Ramses, yeah.
Ramses.
I think we decided it's Ramses.
2022 and came back this year in 2024. I had said last year, or one of the years, or no, I had said in 2022, ram with big horns, pointy eyebrows, built, but has a weird lower half. Alyssa said big hooves. Big hooves.
No, do you remember? I said big hooves, and you said big hooves.
Oh, hooves, yeah.
You said it really weird, and then you're like, yes. I don't know why I said that so weird. So I had to really emphasize how you said big hooves.
Yeah, so just a ram, kind of intimidating, has, the horns and a little weird proportions, like I had said, but, all in all, a decent-looking mascot. Going against a new mascot out of Wagner, which is in New York, The name is Seahawk, and it is, as you guessed, a Seahawk. Green. It was really hard to find photos. This was the best I could find.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's got, like, the beak. It's kind of like an intimidating looking Seahawk, and it's cool to get a Seahawk because I don't know that we've had one.
Yeah, and I mean, other than the actual Seahawks, the team,
right,
professional team.
But I mean, like, in this March Madness, I don't think we've had a Seahawk.
I don't think we've had any parrots or any, like, parakeets or any, like... Yeah, we have seabirds, but, like, Sebastian was a seabird, but not a colorful seabird.
And it's an all-green Seahawk, and we don't get a lot of, like, all one-color mascots, too, which is cool. I actually, I was thinking, and I was like, I kind of like the Seahawk, so I went with the Seahawk.
I had a really hard time with this pick specifically. I will say, just visually, this is the most Animal Crossing mascot I think that we've had so far throughout the tournament. I immediately was like, this is an Animal Crossing townsman, and his name is not Seahawk in the game. He'd probably be like, I don't know, Leo, or like, I don't know, Petey the parrot. I don't know, Petey or Pete, something like that.
Yeah.
I did end up picking Ramses. This one was really hard. I liked both of them quite a bit. I thought they went toe-to-toe pretty well.
Yeah.
I did appreciate the green and the colorful design of this bird, though, so props to that bird.
All right, so we have our first different pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
sorry. All right. So now we got a new mascot out of Mississippi State named Bully. And would it surprise you that Bully is a bulldog?
Wow.
Another one. The third bulldog so far.
Yeah.
This one is more of the wrinkly type of bulldog. Almost more of a boxer kind of deal.
Yeah.
Very wrinkly. I mean, he kind of looks like like a grandparent.
Yes.
Like just, or that meme where Winnie the Pooh can't see and he's got like his eyes half shut and his mouth open. It gives that vibe a lot. But he's just hanging out, He's just there.
He looks very gummy. Like, his teeth look very tiny, so it is like when you look at like a grandpa without their dentures.
It is like it is a person with no teeth.
That's what I think of.
And unfortunately, Bully is going against Sparty out of Michigan State, who has been in the tournament every year. Not a surprise. Michigan State tends to be in the tournament, and they either do absolutely horrible or they surprise everyone and do better than expected. There's no in between. But anyway, so I described him as a big hulking face, jacked. You're not afraid of him. Hannah described him as being a typical Spartan, tough but nice. Biases aside, Sparty won this one.
Sparty's
easily.
just the better mascot. It's not even like bias.
It's not.
It's just a better mascot.
It's just a better mascot.
Yeah, Sparty wins.
Sparty wins. Easy peasy.
Goodbye, Bully. Okay.
All right, a minute.
Oh my god. I swear to god I get this mofo every year. I have to describe him. Okay.
I think you've done it.
I think every year I've had him.
That's so funny.
Out of St. Mary's, Gideon making a return.
Woo! Gideon!
Been in it every year. I had written originally, if you ever went on a blind date and he showed up, you are dead. I also wrote, I hate that in 2023 he is still here, my thoughts haven't changed. And then I wrote, it's 2024 and this fucker is still around. St. Mary's, please just suck at basketball for our sake.
Please.
Alyssa had described him as looked like he had multiple plastic surgeries, Jim Carrey in The Mask but not green, looks like he wants to kill you, and just a man with a cape. We also, as a side note, said if he had appeared in 2024, we would lose it. And again, I will say for next year, if he appears in 2025,
I'm gonna riot.
I will riot.
I'll riot. We'll riot.
We'll riot.
We'll do it. We'll riot. I cannot believe Gideon just dominates this tournament every year. He's only made it to round one every single time.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised.
That's not going to change.
That won't change. But, like, what are you doing? Can you maybe think about getting a new mascot? Like, this is just scary. Like, there's nothing appealing about this man.
No. Okay, so the winner, because neither me or Alyssa picked Gideon, out of Grand Canyon University is Thunder. Thunder is a return from last year. Alyssa said it's either an elk or a deer. We were unsure.
Ungulate. It's an ungulate. Yeah.
Ungulate. Oh, okay, I understand. Pleasant but friendly. Or pleasant and friendly. That's not butt thing.
Is that a butt thing?
That sounded weird.
A butt
Gideon likes butt things, but not thunder. And I said a good enough mascot. And good enough, like we said for the last time, is enough to beat Gideon.
Good enough is always good enough for most, like, bad things. Like,
it's not necessarily a bad mascot. It's just...
It's a fine mascot.
It's pretty simple, but...
I think you said it, good enough mascot. Yeah, it's good enough. Okay. That's all you really need. Okay, so... Our next tournament matchup, we have, out of Alabama, Big Al. Big Al has been in the tournament every year. I described him as being Dumbo-esque, thick, and not very intimidating. And he is just kind of like a Dumbo-looking, kind of chill elephant. Next to a returning Charleston, Clyde the Cougar out of South Carolina, who joined the tournament last year. Hannah described him as being friendly-looking, not intimidating, with large features. And then I pointed out that he doesn't have any ears. And then Hannah went, oh, I didn't notice that. And I still don't get it. I still look at this thing and I like the front half of the face is so much that it makes no sense. Like, why do you have such large proportions on eyes, mouth, snout, but then no ears? I still can't get over the fact that this thing has no ears.
Yeah.
So Big Al.
Big Al wins. Big Al's kind of cool. Like I
kind of like Big Al.
He's not intimidating like we've said, but he's very cute.
Yeah, I think it's a cute little mascot. Yeah. I like the velvety kind of look of him. It's a plus for me.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me.
Okay. Okay, so we have a new mascot out of Clemson, the Tiger. Clemson's in South Carolina. I wrote this man is coked out of his mind because this tiger, his eyes look insane.
I mean, first and foremost, this tiger looks like he has the skull and facial structure of like a lemur.
Yes.
Or those like the eyes are like the really wide-eyed primates.
Yes.
That just have like massive orbitals. Like it looks unreal. Like he's in your soul. He's there. He got in.
Yeah, but also like the neck part looks like extra flaps of skin that are just like rolled over the jersey. He looks like
scary.
He's shot up too many drugs and he's on a bad trip and
he's on a trip. His pupils are dilated.
Unfortunately though, I wrote here, this right here is such an unfortunate matchup. One of these mofos will win because unfortunately he's against New Mexico State's Pistol Pete.
Pete
is returning from 2022. Motherfucking Pistol Pete is back, I wrote. Alyssa in 2022 has said a literal human in cowboy attire, assless chaps, and a huge mustache. And I just said looks creepy. It's just a man wearing chaps and a little vest and a fake mustache.
Comical mustache.
Holding two pistols. Unfortunately, I said, well, I guess I'm going with the tiger out of Clemson.
I picked Pistol Pete.
Okay.
I did. Okay, because let me put it this way. This matchup is ridiculous. No matter what way you look at it, these are both ridiculous mascots. Yeah. But I was thinking, like, if I am a fan of this team, Clemson, if I have to look at this tiger, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, I'm going to be scared. It's going to be, again, a sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah.
He's haunting my dreams. He's sucking my soul. Pistol Pete's just hanging out, you know? Yeah. He's not dangerous. He's just got two little pistols. He's just there.
The only thing I'll say about the tiger that gives it a 1-up for me is that if you were the opposing team and you're just looking at that thing and you're what the fuck? Like, you'd be distracted.
Yeah, because, so if I'm in New Mexico State and I'm in the audience and you just see a little guy running around like, oh, a Pistol Pete. I'd be like, oh, Pistol Pete. Hey, you know, like, it's not scary. So I couldn't do Clemson. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Well, neither one was a good choice for me.
No, they really weren't. It's upsetting, truly. All right, so then our next mascot out of Baylor is Bruiser the Bear from Texas. This mascot has been in the tournament all 3 years we've done it. I described him as having a fun face and looks like he's having a good time. And yeah, he's just like a fun bear. Pretty good proportions. There's like a little bit of an intimidating factor there. Looks like your average bear. Not Winnie the Pooh, though. Not a Winnie the Pooh bear.
No.
Kind of like Joe, but he's more like a Joe Bruin than a Winnie. Against, unfortunately, also returning, Colgate Raiders from New York. They've also been in the tournament every year. Hannah described him as looking ashen gray. Looks like he died and came back to life. too much. I described him as not this man again. It's bad enough we had Gideon, Barbossa hat from Pirates. It's kind of like a ghost pirate. He's a gray with red eyes, red hat, a large smile, large chin. He's a very caricature human pirate man.
Yeah.
So I went with Bruiser.
Same.
Yeah, just easy pick.
Nothing's wrong with Bruiser.
Get that Raider out of my face.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay.
Oh, I gotta delete him. So.
I got it.
You're taking. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So next we have a new team. Dayton out of Ohio, which I said blah. Rudy Flyer, and I said, "Excuse me, sir. I think you belong in Poco Rosso because he's like a pilot, like an old school pilot man with like the glasses, hat." The hat. What is that thing with the hat and the glasses?
It's like the pilot thing. The
like
pilot
the cap where they have like the
cap. I don't know the exact word for it.
He's got this like huge nose and like clenching his teeth and like
he needs a bite guard. He's gonna have TMJ, you know.
Yeah, he's got some jacked arms.
He kind of looks like Popeye.
Yeah, a little bit.
But he's wearing like a basketball and cutoffs, like sweatpants.
Yeah, like joggers and a basketball.
Kind of weird that he's like a pilot, but also dressed in like athletic attire.
He should have had like a little pilot coat or something. That
yeah, cool. It's a bit weird.
Yeah. Going against another new team, Nevada, which they have 3 mascots: Alfie, Wolfie Jr., and Luna. I said these mofos have 3 mascots. Alfie started in 1999. Wolfie Jr., who's Alfie's brother, joined in 2007. And get this, a random girl mascot named Luna, they didn't give a relation because who cares what her relation is, joined in 2013.
Can we talk about how Luna, I'm assuming it's a woman in the costume, is in a skin-tight silver suit, like arms and legs, but yet the male mascots just get like baggy wolf pants.
Shorts and it's just, I mean, there's 3 wolves. They all just look kind of like average wolves.
They're just 3 wolves.
Yeah, you know what, I went with the wolves just because Rudy wasn't doing it for me.
I also picked the wolves as well.
Yeah,
you know, I guess
kind of one of those
3
matchups where it's like, I'll take the wolves.
Yeah, you got like, you know, they're perfectly fine wolves. I don't think there's anything like upsetting about them. They look designed. I don't know why there have to be 3 of them, but
yeah, it was also unclear if all of them are at the basketball games, but in this photo there are 3 at the basketball games, so I don't really know.
We'll just say that's fine. We'll just say fine, good enough, you know?
Yep.
All right, and our last matchup on the left side of our bracket, we have from Arizona Wilbur, who has been in the tournament all 3 years. I described him as having being a redneck. He's got a bucket hat, bucktooth smile, and a bucket hat. I don't know why I said that twice. I said you may see them in Tennessee when we would visit our grandparents. It'd probably be someone you'd see out in the mountains. Hannah described him as a frat boy who never left college. And he's kind of like a gold mining looking cat. He's got like he's older. He's got a flair to him. I think he's stylized for a specific image. I think it's fine. And then we got a new mascot out of Long Beach State named LB from California. Hannah wrote a note that says, "I'm speechless. Gaston got stung by bees, but just on his chin." Now, I'm trying to like look at what is this person LB supposed to be. He's got like a pickaxe, so I think this is supposed to maybe be a gold miner.
I thought it's like Gold Rush and he's like a miner, but
it's like he's also wearing like plaid and like a vest and a bucket hat.
He looks like a lumberjack.
He looks kind of like a lumberjack. I will agree, he's very Gaston.
Yeah.
He's got a very distorted putty face.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of this. This is something.
And unfortunately I went with Wilbur because...
I also went with Wilbur because I was like, I can't even look at this man.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Gideon, but it's
but
something.
Not great. Yeah.
Something.
Very, very, very not great. Okay, we are moving on to our next side. All right, so a fan favorite. By fan favorite, I mean Alyssa's favorite.
Fan favorite.
Out of Houston, we have Shasta. every year, been in this tournament. Mm-hmm. Alyssa in the past has described her as very friendly, fluffy, and in a nice space. And I said one of the only female mascots, which is still true this year. Yep. Good design, realistic. Yeah. She just, she looks very realistic.
Well-designed mascot.
Yeah, and I don't think they're trying too hard.
Was my winner one year, 2022 winner.
Going against one of my previous favorites, Lawnwood University out of Elwood is the mascot's name.
Right,
out of Lawnwood. Yes.
He has Lawnwood. We've discussed this many times.
He does have Lawnwood. Been in it every year. I've described him as angsty, a little pop punk, built, teenager having a good time. Wait. Teenager having a time, but good vibes.
Yes.
Alyssa's described him as a blue mohawk rhino / hippo combo. And yeah, he just is, he just looks angry at the world.
He looks angsty.
Yeah, and I've picked him in the past, but I was feeling Shasta this year, so I went with Shasta.
I was curious, because I know you have a deep love for Elwood, the horse.
And that Longwood, yes.
And that Longwood, yes. Yeah. I also picked Shasta, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, I assumed.
This year.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm pretty sure they went head-to-head at one point previously.
I think the first year, because that's the reason I didn't pick Shasta.
Yeah, because I remember Shasta didn't go far, I think, because you picked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Surprising matchup again.
Bye-bye, Lawnwood.
Bye, Longwood.
May your wood stay long. Oh, God.
All right. Oh, God. Okay, so we have a new mascot this year out of Nebraska. His name is Herbie Husker. I believe supposed to be a corn husker. Little red is on his hat. What can I say about Herbie Husker? He looks like Big Boy. I mean, he looks like Big Boy, the mascot. It's like
one of those things you put on your desk and you top it and it can't fall over.
And it can't fall over. Yeah. He's got overalls on, little boots, a backwards cap because he's cool with the kids.
Yeah.
I guess he's supposed to be a farmer, kind of like a corn husker, but he looks like the star of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like a Howdy Doody or like a Chucky. This is what comes at you with a knife.
He looks like a grown-up Caillou. This is what Caillou would become as a teenager.
He's a little bald bitch, too. Oh, God. Yeah, all right, upsetting. All right, next we've got from Texas A&M. Texas A&M. Too many letters there. I think we said Revel. Is that
Revel?
What we just Revel. Yeah. So Revel is a real dog, real collie. They don't have an actual physical person mascot. It's a dog. It's a collie dog, and because it's not Herbie Husker, I went with Texas A&M because what's not to love about a collie?
Yeah, it's so cute.
Little coat on.
I love it. Yeah, and Herbie was creepy. So yeah, even though the collie, I don't know if it technically counts if we have a live animal, but it counts for me. So
it counts for me too.
Yeah, Revel wins.
It works. I approve.
Okay. Next, we have Wisconsin Bucky Badger, which has been in it every year.
Yep.
I said that it's a good old badger chilling out. Reminds me of a ferret our friend had. Alyssa said having a good time, chill. Yeah, he's just this badger, and he's got the Wisconsin striped red and white shirt on. He's got some. I don't think he's wearing pants. I think that's just his fur.
I think
it's hard to tell.
They're either baggy sweats or brown fur pants.
Yeah,
hard to say.
But yeah, so yeah, he's just he's chill. He's just posing,
hanging out.
Yeah. Against a new mascot out of James Madison University in Virginia, we have Duke Dog. Duke Dog is a dog. He is also a fan of royalty. Got that crown on. Got a looks like he skinned a bunch of Dalmatians. And made
I also thought that too. Oh,
he worked with Cruella de Vil and got a robe. Yeah, I mean he looks like royalty. His actual body is just all fur. I've seen some pictures where he's wearing the jersey, the basketball jersey.
But it's a fluffy suit.
The weird thing about this one is the mascot face looks so
it looks like a Lego head.
Yeah, it looks very almost uncanny because it's
it
very
is uncanny.
Yeah, it's very bright in your face, and a lot of them look a little bit more. Yeah, a lot of them look more worn out. But you know what? Yeah. It worked for me because I picked Duke Dog.
You picked Duke Dog?
I did.
Oh, God, Hannah.
I did.
No.
I did.
I went with the Badger, Bucky the Badger, because I have a soft spot for this Badger. I think he's just hanging out. He's just having fun. I looked at that Duke Dog and I was like, dear Lord.
I was into it.
What is this? Okay.
I'm not going to lie.
It didn't work for me, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. Returning. Another 3-time returning out of Duke is the Blue Devil from North Carolina. Hannah said, looks like the Hamburglar, and you pronounced the Hamburglar wrong 3 times. Chiseled-faced, big ears. It's a Blue Devil with a goatee, upsetting, horns, cape. Just upsetting.
Yeah.
I would say, in general. And another 3-time returning mascot out of Vermont is Rally, who's I believe some type of a cat, a rally cat. I said that he has cat eyes, and you struggled to describe him. I think you were trying to describe him, and I said he looks like a weasel. And then I also said, while trying to describe that Hannah struggled to describe him, I said that Hannah descrubbled. It had a little word flub. Hannah said, face perpetually open, sad to look at, waiting to receive, ready to suck a dick.
Yeah.
It's commentary from Hannah from last year.
I picked Rally.
I picked Rally as well. I hate that Blue Devil so much. It's just a personal vendetta against the Blue Devil that I went with Rally. I was like, you know what? Rally's it. It's gotta be it.
Yeah.
Have to pick it.
Gotta do it.
Screw the Blue Devil. Get out of here, Blue Devil.
Goodbye, Blue Devil.
Get out of here.
Okay. Next we have Texas Tech Raider Red, who's been in it every year. I have said that he's similar to Pistol Pete, a large white cowboy hat. Alyssa said he looks like Yosemite Sam. Yeah, he's very, like, cartoonish. Very, like, Looney Tunes-ish. But yeah, you know, the colors are nice, but he's just very Texas.
Yeah, I think
very
that's
Texas. Against North Carolina State, Mr. Wolf. From 2023 and came back this year. I said the man has the eyes of someone who's lived through some shit. Alyssa had said that showed up to work hungover after a bender, needs a bath and is distressed. And I also said a wolf with a hat. Things will get better. Yeah, Mr. Wolf's gone through some hard times. He has gone through some hard times, for sure.
He's definitely got like a, you know that, the Big Bad Wolf, like, Disney animated short. So it looks like that wolf. Like, he's still the same wolf from the 60s in current day. Yeah. Like, it's that wolf.
But you know what, Mr. Wolf? Things will get better because I picked you to move on.
You picked Mr. Wolf?
Yeah, I don't like Texas Tech.
No way.
I don't like Texas Tech.
I couldn't. Hannah, I can't look at Mr. Wolf. He just, like, he's startling. He's scary.
He needs some support in these trying times.
I'd rather have the Raider. At least he's colorful and cheery.
Yeah,
you know?
Nah.
You just want to lift up Mr. Wolf to tear him back down?
I mean, that's life.
That's, you know, you're not wrong.
That's life.
All right, well, you get that one. All right, out of Kentucky, we have the Wildcat, another returning all 3 years that we've done this. Hannah described him as a cat, not impressive, tiny face, proportions off. I said tiny head to hand ratio.
Why is his head so small?
It's like, not only is his head small, but his eyes and face are also tiny too. Like, everything is so tiny. It's like it's little, insane. Like, everything is smushed together.
Yeah.
And he has massive feet too, like huge hands and feet. Yeah. And then just the tiniest head.
The tiniest little head.
I don't understand why his head is so tiny. Going against, out of Oakland University, a new mascot, the Grizz, which is a school in Michigan and actually a college that's about 10 minutes from where we grew up. We have been to that school before. So we have a soft spot for them. And they show up in the tournament every once in a while. They're like a D3 team, but they have had a good basketball team throughout the years, and they occasionally show up. So I feel, and I have to say this now, I am distraught that in my actual real bracket I made, I did not pick them as an upset, even though they ended up winning the game, their first game. And I felt really bad about it. But basically, it's a bear. It's got a very a very strong emphasis on the snout.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a really elongated snout, slightly open to look, I think, give a little bit of that intimidating. Its eyes are kind of centered in.
Yeah.
It's got a focus, determination. It's a bear. So,
yeah.
I wasn't going to pick the Wildcat, so I picked Grizz.
Yeah, Grizz wins.
Yeah, thought that was a pretty easy pick.
It was a pretty easy choice.
It's a pretty easy choice.
Yeah.
I agree.
Pretty easy choice.
Pretty easy.
Okay. All right, so next we have University of Florida, which was a new team. This is a duo of Albert and Alberta, two alligators.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just, they're pretty similar in, like, the body part, but the face, Alberta has, like, some red lipstick on. And Albert's
looks like red toenails, too,
yeah.
like in fingernails.
Yeah, and some eyelashes, and Albert's rocking, like, a ball cap and, like, a little hoodie situation going on. Got some teeth. His mouth is open. Alberta's appears to be closed. But yeah, just a nice little duo. Both green, with orange. Going against another new mascot out of Colorado, we have Ralphie. Ralphie appears to be a ram. He's got like a yellow face and
I don't know if that's a ram. It looks more like an ox.
Well, the mascot's Colorado Rams.
Is his name? Oh, you're right. Sorry. Well, that's just the way their mascot is designed. Does not look much like a ram.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not looking too good for him.
Yes, I would say more ox than ram, but that's just me.
Yeah, but he's got like this big. Oh, you know what? Colorado State is the Rams. Colorado's the Buffalo.
I was gonna say. I was like, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Okay.
But yeah, just a very large nose. The like horns are pretty small compared to the head, actually, because the head is quite large. But not really wearing anything besides just like a jersey.
It's giving like Barney.
Yeah.
Proportions, face proportions.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I went with Ralphie.
You went with Ralphie?
Yeah.
I went with the Al and Alberta.
Yeah.
I kind of like it's a cute little couple. They're non-offensive alligators. They're just hanging out. I liked that like Alberta as like a female mascot didn't get like skin tight costume. She's got the same kind of baggy green pantsuit that Albert's got going on, and I kind of dug it. I was into it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, next matchup from Marquette, we have the Golden Eagle Iggy as of 2020. I don't know what the mascot was before that.
Yeah, they didn't have a name, I don't think, before that.
Okay, gotcha. It's out of Wisconsin, been in the tournament all 3 years. Hannah said, if that's not a red-blooded American, I don't know what is. I said normal bird face and wings, not unpleasant. So a totally average, normal-looking mascot. So we thought. I kind of dig this. I kind of dig Iggy this year. I've been into Iggy this year.
Same.
I came around a little bit. I think we were a little harsh previously.
Yeah.
After some of the mascots we've seen, including this new one out of Western Kentucky, named Big Red. Hannah wrote a note that says he's just always holding a shit in.
Yeah.
How can I describe Big Red?
He looks like a mix of like Barney and like
the jaw and face situation, it's like there's one hinge and his head could go all the way up and like backwards. Like he just has like a door hinge for a jaw.
He kind of looks like a toilet
like a
snake.
A fluffy toilet seat.
Yeah.
He does. Like, I don't know, like a snake. His head almost looks like a snake. Or like Grimace from
Grimace.
McDonald's, but red. His body is like the thing 1 and 2 from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Like he has a very stout, small upper body, tiny little legs. I don't know what else to say about this mascot other than it horrifies me.
Yeah.
And is concerning. I don't know exactly what the point of this mascot is.
No, and I went with Iggy because I was not picking that.
I refused. Refused.
Yeah.
I said absolutely not.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye.
All right. Okay, next up we have Purdue. Purdue Pete. I've been in it every year. I said that he has seen some hard times. He looks like Howdy Doody. He's an industry man. An old design like Tonka. Alyssa has said that our dad, unprompted, said Purdue Pete was his favorite mascot.
Unprompted. No one asked for that. He just said, I really like Purdue Pete. And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, Purdue Pete is just a man with a creepy-looking face on him.
He's just a Boilermaker.
A Boilermaker.
Just trying to make ends meet.
Yeah. Going against a new team, Grambling State out of Louisiana. So there's a tiger and a lady tiger, but there's some confusion because I could only find one mascot, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the tiger or the lady tiger. This tiger has also seen some hard times, I think. The face is just very, how would you describe it? I don't know.
Hannah, I think, honestly, this might be the worst designed headpiece of a mascot I think we've seen so far.
Yeah.
It is like a taxidermied tiger.
Yeah.
It's like both too realistic and not at the same time. Its eyes are so far set on the side of its head.
Yeah.
It's just hard to look at. Like, I'm trying to find a way to describe this, and it just looks upsetting.
Yeah.
Truly upsetting. So upsetting that I picked Purdue Pete. I picked him, Hannah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't pick Purdue.
I couldn't pick this tiger.
No.
Against my better judgment and my principles and values of how many tigers we've had in this tournament, so many tigers. This is probably the worst tiger we've ever seen.
Yeah, but I couldn't bring myself to pick Purdue Pete.
I picked Purdue Pete. Again, like you said with the one mascot, he's seen some hard times. I just want to lift him up. I'm just lifting him up. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I had to. All right. From Utah State, we have Big Blue, who was in the tournament last year. Hannah described him as a bull ram ? Intimidating. I said slightly off, face isn't symmetrical. And it is a slightly off blue, kind of buffalo-y type ox type looking cow situation.
Yeah.
Going against TCU, the horned frog, but it's actually a lizard out of Texas, who's been in the tournament all 3 years. Hannah described him like a Pokemon, lizard-esque, reptile-looking, small body, interesting and different. I said respect it being different. Mm-hmm. And it's the only lizard that we have in our tournament. Not a lot of reptiles. We didn't have any turtles this year either, so it represents the entirety of the reptile population. And I picked TCU. I like the horned frog.
I like the horned frog.
It's a fun design.
I think I was a fan. I've been a fan most years. I just think, like you said, it's different, and that's cool because we get a lot of cougars and bulldogs and
tigers.
Tigers
birds.
And bears, my. And it's nice to get, a mix. So it's cool to get something
a little different.
I mean, Utah State isn't bad, to be honest, but it's just
It's fine.
It's nothing special.
It's nothing special. Yeah. It's a fine mascot, but nothing special.
Okay. All right. Speaking of bulldogs, we have Gonzaga, Spike the Bulldog. Gonzaga's out of in Washington, and they've been in the tournament every year. Alyssa has described it as loose, flappy skin, a big bulldog face with big underbite, not built like the underbite. Is that right? Not built.
I'm not sure what I wrote. That you're reading
maybe
it correctly.
You like the underbite.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I like the underbite.
So she said he's not built, but she likes the underbite. Cute but intimidating. And he's similar to a lot of the bulldogs we've described. He has a very small body, but he does have this big proportioned head, and it is a cute underbite. It's a little bit intimidating, but also nice to look at. So I do agree with you on that. Going against a new team, McNeese State out of Louisiana, we have Rowdy. Rowdy's another cowboy. He's got a yellow hat, yellow handkerchief, and some brown pants and holster. He also has the gloves with the ruffle. What is it
it's like the fringe.
The fringe coming off of it. Wearing boots, and he's got his face just looks very smushed.
Yeah,
like a smushed white man face.
He kind of looks a little bit, no offense to Christopher Walken, but he's got a little bit of a Christopher Walken influence going on a little bit.
And yeah, I said no, and I said I like Spike. So
I also picked Spike. Yeah. I couldn't pick this man.
Yeah,
just slightly upsetting.
Yeah,
I agree. All right, goodbye. All right, another returning favorite out of Kansas is Big J. Been in the tournament every year. I said, I think he's a Jayhawk, Pac-Man head, stares into your soul. Hannah said, the head looks like the tip of a penis, could fit his head into the Nittany Lion's mouth, who was a previous mascot. Yeah, I can't unsee this tip of the penis head after Hannah said that. It really is just in shape and design, but it's supposed to be a bird. Yeah. Very cartoony bird. Against a new mascot out of Stanford University, Sam the Bulldog. What a surprise. Another bulldog. Another bulldog. This one's got, like, extremely huge feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you notice how large its feet are in proportion to the rest of its body. It's wearing, like, shorts and a t-shirt. It looks like it's confused.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really know what's going on. It's startled. It's a bit more realistic than some of the other bulldogs we have in this group. Because I think this is now our, 6th or 7th bulldog.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
And I gotta be honest, at this point I got so sick of bulldogs, I picked Big J.
Oh, God, no.
I didn't.
No, I couldn't pick the penis head, so I said I'm going to pick Sam.
I got so sick of bulldogs, Hannah. We had seen so many bulldogs. That's true. This year was the year of the bulldog. They just kept
I don't want
coming.
it to be the year of the penis, so I said no.
Like from Shrek, and it won't stop coming, and they won't stop coming, and the bulldogs, they wouldn't stop, and I got sick of it, and I looked at that penis, and I said, let's do it.
I mean, that's what you say with most penises.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of penises, we have Cocky out of South Carolina. He's got, like, very small legs, like, but then he's got, like, these yellow feet and, like, a yellow beak, and then, like, it almost looks like he's got, like, a hula hoop at the end of his outfit. Like, he's got, like, it's, like, red, and then it just, like, ends at the thighs, and it's just, like, from there down, it's just, like, pants, like, leggings. But yeah, just a red cock.
Yeah.
It's got, like, the neck thing, the neck look.
Yeah. The giblet.
The giblet, gizzard, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Jowls, I don't know. I don't remember a lot of my bird class knowledge.
Going against Oregon. When I heard Oregon was in it, I said, fuck yeah, because I know that Oregon duck, and I fucking love the Oregon duck.
Iconic duck.
Yeah.
I know this duck.
Honestly, Oregon, this is one of the mascots you see a lot in, like, top lists, because it is a very nice looking duck. He's got, like, he looks cute. He's got, like, this, like, green outfit, and he's got, like, a little, like a tie, like a little
bolo, like a little ascot. He's got an
ascot, and he's got, like, a cute little hat on, and he's got, you know, like, his face is very cute. Like, the photo that is just straight on his face, just looks very cute. It's got these, like, big eyes, kind of giving Daffy Duck vibes.
Giving Daffy Duck, yeah, I agree.
But yeah, he's just having a good time, and for me, it was a pretty easy pick. Yeah, I went with Oregon Duck.
Yeah, he's given Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Also no pants. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Genuinely, this is, when I saw this duck was in there, I went, oh, I know that duck. That's a mascot I am very familiar with. I think it's one of the ones that shows up a lot in the college sports sphere.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. I got a clear, like, this one's going to take me far.
Yeah.
Until it hits something that I don't agree with. But iconic mascot. I was happy to see it show up first year.
Agreed.
All right, a returning favorite for Hannah, out of Creighton, Billy Blue Jay in Nebraska. It's been in the tournament every year. Oh, sorry, I forgot to delete it.
Yeah, I deleted it. Sorry.
I just shifted. No, you're good.
Yeah,
Hannah described him as having a nice smile, cute eyes, small body, and I agree. He is a very happy-looking blue jay, non-offensive bird. I feel like a lot of these birds are offensive-looking or scary. This one's not. He's a little cute blue jay, and blue jays are small and, like, cute, and this one I feel like he's joyful, happy. He's here to have a good time. And then against out of Akron, a returning mascot, Zippy the kangaroo from Ohio. This is a returning mascot from 2022. Fun fact, Zippy is a female kangaroo and one of only 8 female college mascots in the U.S. Hannah described her as being cool-looking, nice sweater, rocking her look. Mm-hmm. And I love Zippy. I think Zippy's a great design. Also because it's a kangaroo, and we don't really get kangaroo mascots at all, ever.
No.
So I'm pretty pleased with Zippy. I went with Zippy.
Yeah, I also went with Zippy, which I know Billy Blue Jay has been high on my list, but something about Zippy is like, she's just unique, and I think I like unique mascots. That's no diss on Billy, because Billy's one of the better looking bird mascots we see.
This was a hard one.
Yeah, this one was hard. But yeah, so I was like, Zippy's cool, and I love a female mascot, so.
Mm-hmm. All right, goodbye, Billy. See you next year.
Okay. All right, out of Texas, we have Hookem, who has been in it every year. Alyssa has described Hookem as built and stacked, a cute, tiny cowboy hat. I said that I like the big mouth and that it is realistic. And yeah, Hookem's just like this cute little, like, got this cute little tiny hat, like the most adorable hat you've ever seen. These big features on the face, but not like creepy big features. Yeah, and just a nice little, what is that oh my god, what's the name of the animal?
A longhorn.
Yes, a longhorn.
Yeah, longhorn cow. Or
like, what is Texas longhorn?
Longhorns, yeah.
But yeah, just like a cute mascot. Maybe not the most intimidating, but cute.
Doesn't have to be, yeah.
No. And going against another three-peat, been in every year, Cam the Ram out of Colorado State. Alyssa said a mountain goat, more realistic, a baggy suit, but pleasing. And yeah, Cam is just like, basically, I mean, the whole outfit is just like a basketball jersey outfit with shorts. But yeah, got some fur going, got these nice, I do like that they have the nice big ram, horns, because some of the horned animals like don't have those.
Yeah.
This was like a pretty good matchup, I felt like.
It was a solid matchup, I agree.
Because I know different years I picked both of these to go on. But yeah, I ended up going with Hookem. I just like the little hat.
I did too. I also picked Hookem.
Yeah.
I agreed. This year, Hookem got it.
Yeah.
All right. And we got our last matchup of the first round. All right. Another returning favorite out of Tennessee is Smokey. Been into all 3 years. Hannah said Blue Point Hound, goofy vibes, friendly, fun play on words. I said he had a little bit of a saddened face, hanging out for support.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like a little hound dog, Smoky Mountains, He's cute. He's got a fun, like, non-offensive body. Not very intimidating, but he's a cute little dog. And then versus another favorite out of St. Peter's is Pete the Peacock from New Jersey. Hannah described him as having Seattle Kraken vibes, 90s retro vibe, and I said he looks like the old Anaheim Ducks mascot look.
Yeah.
This was also another tough matchup, because Pete the Peacock is like a very, like, the only peacock bird we have.
Yeah.
And he's a blue bird and, like, has a fun design. And I do like Smokey. I think it's a cute dog. But this year I gave it to Pete the Peacock.
I agree. I kind of like the color combo. Again, like you said, it's kind of a little bit more, like, different. We don't get any other peacocks. And, yeah, a lot of the mascots tend to do, like, more muted colors. And I feel like this is very vibrant and very, like, in your face. Like, the Pop-Tart, like, the Wild Berry Pop-Tart. Yeah, so, yeah, I went with Pete as well.
All right, round 1 is done.
Oh, we're going to get Colorado State, too,
right? Oh, I missed one. All right.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. We are going into round 2.
Round two. A lot of our matchups are going to be the same, which is helpful.
Which is nice. Okay, so round 2, we've got UConn, Jonathan the Husky, and we've got going against out of Florida Atlantic University, Owsley. I went with Owsley.
I went with Owsley as well.
I just think pretty easy pick. It's pretty easy and it's just different.
I really like this mascot. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I do
too. From last year, I remember really liking this one quite a bit.
Yep.
All right, next roundup, we have Blaze out of UAB, the Dragon, versus Handsome Dan, the Bulldog. I went with Blaze, the Dragon.
Yep.
I thought
like Blaze.
they're both kind of like comic-y, like animated looking mascots, and I thought Blaze, it's fun. Another one, it's a dragon, it's unique, so
Yeah.
I'm very supportive of that.
Yeah. How do we say it?
Dequette? I still have it. Duquesne.
Okay, we got the Duke out of Duquesne going against Beaker out of Moorhead State, which is the Eagle. I went with Duke.
You went Duke? I went with Beaker, the Eagle. Yeah. I thought this was a pretty close matchup.
Yeah.
They both are kind of silly looking.
Yeah.
So it was a toss-up. But yeah, I ended up going with Beaker.
Cool.
All right, next matchup. We got out of Drake, we've got Spike, another bulldog looking mascot, versus Jackrabbit out of South Dakota State. And I actually picked Spike. I do think this bulldog is pretty fun mascot. I liked the color change, like the white and gray together. I thought it makes it a little bit stand out from the other bulldogs we get. Jackrabbit's fine, but it is very much feels like a child's mascot, not really college basketball. So.
I'm into Jackrabbit.
You like Jackrabbit?
I like Jackrabbit. Okay. I think it's unique, and it is a little kiddish, but I also think it's cool to see something different. So
yeah,
I also think if you were a kid at a game, you would be into that.
Yeah, which is fair.
You know? It's fair. So yeah. All right. So we have Ramses out of North Carolina against the Seahawk out of Wagner. I went with.
You picked. Well, so you had. Wagner.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay,
yeah.
so Alyssa has Ramses out of North Carolina. I have Wagner, the Seahawk, going against Sparty out of Michigan State, and I went with Sparty.
I also went Sparty too. Yeah, so
that's
unfortunately an easy pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not hard. All right, goodbye, friends. Yeah, Sparty is going to go far all the time.
Yeah.
All right, our next matchup, we have Thunder, the elk or deer out of Grand Canyon University versus Big Al, the elephant out of Alabama, and I actually picked Thunder for this one.
Okay.
It was a bit of this is a tough one for me.
Yeah, I went with Big Al. I went back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're both pretty good animal mascots.
Yeah.
They're definitely diverse. We don't really have a lot of elk, deer-looking mascots, and or elephants, but I thought Thunder a little bit more strong for me this round.
Okay. Next, I went with Coked Out Tiger out of Clemson. Alyssa went with Pistol Pete out of New Mexico State, going against Bruiser out of Baylor. I went with Bruiser.
I went with Bruiser as well.
Yeah, it felt pretty
easy.
Pretty easy because neither of those mascots were ones I wanted to pick in the first place. So.
No, they both were kind of
and Bruiser's a pretty classic looking mascot. Nothing wrong with Bruiser.
I agree. All right, and our last matchup on this side of the bracket, out of Nevada, we have the three wolves, Alfie, Wolfie Jr., and Luna, versus Wilbur, the wildcat out of Arizona. I actually picked Wilbur.
Okay.
I
went with the three wolves.
I kind of dig the old man cat vibe. I think it kind of works. This gold mining type cat. He's silly enough that I think the caricature works in this case.
Yeah, I went with the wolves out of Nevada.
Nice.
All right. Okay, so next we have out of Houston, we have Shasta, and going against Revel, the collie dog. I went with Shasta.
I went with Shasta as well.
Yeah.
Not a hard pick. I do like the collie, but it is an actual dog, so I feel
it's hard to keep it going.
It's hard to keep it going. All right, so this round, I have Bucky the Badger out of Wisconsin, and Hannah has Duke the dog from James Madison University, and they are going against Rally, the cat out of Vermont. So I picked Bucky the Badger.
I picked Duke dog.
Okay.
Yeah. Not feeling Rally.
Rally, well, because, perpetually open mouth is a little upsetting to look at.
It is weird.
You do what you can.
Yeah. All right. So, Alyssa had Raider Red out of Texas Tech. I had Mr. Wolf out of North Carolina State, both going against the Grizz out of Oakland University. And I went with the Grizz.
I went with the Grizz as well.
Yeah.
It's not a hard pick for me.
Grizz is pretty intimidating, which is cool.
It's pretty intimidating. I think a solid mascot they got there at Oakland University.
Yeah.
Which is in Michigan and not in California.
Yes.
So that was trending on Twitter, and I was like, why is Rochester trending on Twitter? What do you know? Yeah. Surprise. Okay, our next matchup. I have Albert and Alberto, the alligators, out of University of Florida. Hannah has Ralphie, the buffalo, out of Colorado, and it is going against Iggy, the golden eagle, out of Marquette. So I picked Iggy, the golden eagle.
I did as well.
Okay, yeah, I don't
really
know.
like Iggy.
Iggy this year, I came around. I was like, maybe we were too harsh on Iggy previously in our descriptions.
I just think, like, the features are nice, and it's like this, it's a nice mix of, like, intimidating, but, like, not scary.
It kind of reminds me of the Muppet, the Eagle Muppet. I can't remember what his name is right now. I'm blanking. But the condor, the guy who like hangs out up on the theater. It gives that vibe a little bit in the face. So
yeah,
I'm for it.
All right. So Alyssa had Purdue Pete out of Indiana. I had Tiger/Lady Tiger out of Grambling State. Both going against TCU. This one was pretty easy for me. I picked TCU.
Was a very easy pick. Yeah. TCU, easy pick. Not hard choice to make.
No.
All right. So then, we have Spike the Bulldog out of Gonzaga. Versus on my side, I had Big J out of Kansas. Hannah had Sam the Bulldog out of Stanford. I picked Spike the Bulldog.
Yeah, I had Bulldog versus Bulldog, and I think Spike is a better looking Bulldog. So
I think Spike is a pretty good looking Bulldog. Yeah.
So I picked Spike.
And also, I'm pretty sure we have 2 Spike the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
pretty sure. Right. That other one that I picked was also Spike the Bulldog. Because at a certain point, I was like, wait, Spike the Bulldog or Spike the Bulldog?
Yeah,
they're both Spike.
All right. So next, out of Oregon, we have the Oregon Duck. And out of Akron, we have Zippy, the kangaroo. I went with the duck.
I went with the duck, too.
Yeah.
Duck is fun. I like the duck. Iconic mascot.
Duck is new.
Yeah, new this year. Haven't had it yet, so... Yeah. It's taking the place of Sebastian for me since we didn't get Sebastian the Ibis. All right. Our last matchup. We have Hookem, the Longhorn out of Texas, versus St. Peter's Pete the Peacock from New Jersey. I picked Hookem.
Okay. I picked Pete.
This was a hard one.
It's hard. Yeah.
This was a hard one because they're both solid mascots for different reasons. But yeah, I ended up going with Hookem.
Well, and like a little bit of a spoiler, I also was like, whichever one I pick is not going to beat the duck.
It's not going to beat the duck. I know. Yeah. I felt the same way. So I was like, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad we're on the same page.
Okay. We are going on to round 3.
Round 3.
The
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. All right. So, first round, we both have Owsley out of Florida Atlantic University going against Blaze out of UAB. I went with Owsley.
I went with Owsley, too.
Yeah, I'm really into Owsley.
I really was digging Owsley this year. All right, next round. Hannah has Duke out of... my God, like...
I keep forgetting it.
I don't know. Duquesne. I don't know why. It's like the letters don't look right, and I can't do it. Duquesne. And I had Beaker, the Eagle out of Morehead State, versus Spike the Bulldog out of Drake. So yeah, there's the other Spike the Bulldog. I picked Spike the Bulldog.
Well, I have it going against the Jackrabbit out of South Dakota
sorry,
State.
the Jackrabbit.
Yeah,
I forgot you also had the Jackrabbit.
Yeah.
So we had a 4 matchup. So Hannah has Duke going against the Jackrabbit. Yep. I have Beaker going against Spike. I have Spike going.
Okay. Yeah, you can cross off the one we don't know how to pronounce because I picked Jackrabbit.
Okay, great. So
you can get rid of that one so we don't have to worry about pronouncing it anymore.
Great, and Beaker is gone too. Okay. Excellent. I forgot that we both had 2 different ones.
No, I did too. All right. Okay. So we both have Sparty out of Michigan State going against...
I had Thunder.
Oh, yeah. Going against for Alyssa Thunder out of Grand Canyon, and for me, Big Al out of Alabama. I don't think it's much of a shock. I picked Sparty again.
I picked Sparty again, too. Yeah.
I just don't think either of those mascots can compete.
No. Agreed. Okay, next matchup. We have Bruiser, the bear, out of Texas, versus Hannah has the 3 wolves, Alfie, Wolfie Jr., and Luna out of Nevada, and I had Wilbur, the wildcat, out of Arizona. I picked Bruiser, the bear.
I did too. I like Bruiser.
I like Bruiser.
Bruiser, for me, is kind of the replacement of Joe Byrne this year.
Joe Byrne, yeah. I agree, because Joe Byrne's usually our bear that takes us all the way.
And they're pretty similar looking in terms of, like, features, and it's just a nice-looking mascot.
It's nice. Yeah. I agree.
All right. So, we both have Shasta out of Houston. Alyssa has going against Bucky Badger out of Wisconsin. I have against Duke Dog, James Madison. Duke Dog has finally lost. I went with Shasta.
Bucky's out too. Yeah. Shasta reigns supreme.
Yeah.
All right, get out of here, Duke Dog. I don't want to look at you anymore. All right, for our next matchup, we have the Grizz, the bear out of Oakland University, versus Iggy, the Golden Eagle. I picked Iggy.
I picked Iggy too.
I really was digging Iggy this year.
I agree.
I don't know. I just kept being like, I like the mascot. I think the Grizz is a good designed bear.
I do
but
too.
I really like Iggy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan this year. I don't know what it is, but
I agree.
Brings me joy.
All right. So we both have TCU, which is the Horned Frog, going against Spike the Bulldog out of Gonzaga. I went with TCU, the Horned Frog.
I also went with the Horned Frog as well. It kind of got to, again, down to the point where it's like we had so many Bulldogs that it's like I just kind of, you got to pick one that you
I also just really like the Horned Frog. I think it's unique and it's cool.
I think it's unique and it's a fun design. It does kind of look like a Pokemon. I think that adds to the...
For sure.
Like, it's like intimidating enough, but still fun for the kids.
Yeah.
All right, so I have the Oregon Duck from Oregon versus, for mine, it's Hookem out of Texas. For Hannah, it's Pete the Peacock from St. Peter's.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a surprise that I'm assuming both picked the duck based on the way we were talking about
We
the
did,
duck.
yes.
Yeah. Duck
just
is
too
go
good
far.
to pass up.
Too good to pass up. I agree. All right. Elite Eight. Here we are.
All right, Elite Eight. So, out of Florida Atlantic University, we have Owsley going against, for Alyssa, Spike out of Drake, and for me, Jackrabbit out of South Dakota State, and I went with Owsley.
I went with Owsley as well. Yeah. It's a solid mascot. I really did like Drake. Like, that's probably my favorite bulldog, I think. But I just really like Owsley design.
Yeah.
All right. Next matchup. We have Sparty versus Baylor. Bruiser the bear out of Baylor. I picked Sparty.
I picked Sparty, too.
Yeah. I like Baylor. I like the bear, but it's Sparty. So, sorry. Just kind of how it has to be, you know?
Yeah. All right, this one's hard. We have Shasta out of Houston going against Iggy out of Marquette. And this was a hard choice.
This is a hard choice.
I went back and forth, but I went with Shasta.
I also went with Shasta as well. Okay. This was probably one of the toughest lineups at this point, in this late in the tournament, where I was just like, I don't know. Kept going back and forth. But ultimately, Shasta reigned supreme.
Yeah.
All right. Last lineup of the Elite Eight, we have TCU, the Horned Frog, versus the Oregon Duck. I went with the Oregon Duck.
I did too.
Yeah, it's too hard to pass up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right. Final four.
Our final four, I think for once, we have the same final four.
We do.
It's the only time this has ever happened.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if we end up with the same final two.
Yeah. I'm really curious.
So, out of Florida Atlantic University, Owsley going against Sparty out of Michigan State. I went with Owsley.
So, this is where my note came in. Last year in the Elite Eight, we had Sparty versus Owsley, and we both picked Sparty.
Yeah.
This year, Final Four, I picked Owsley.
Yeah, Owsley was just, for this year, was like, yeah.
I just really was like, Owsley is just it.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
I really just was like, this is it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, for our other side of the Final Four, we have Shasta, the Cougar, versus the Oregon Duck. This was also really hard.
Yeah.
A very hard pick. I ended up going with Shasta.
I took the Duck.
You took the Duck?
I took the Duck.
Bird versus Bird in your final?
Bird versus Bird.
Yeah, it was a hard one. This one was also really hard because Shasta's won my tournament, you know? Yeah. Shasta's a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
But the Oregon Duck finally had to be defeated.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Florida Atlantic going against, for me, Oregon Duck, for Alyssa, Shasta.
Mm-hmm.
My final pick, I went with Owsley.
My final pick is also Owsley.
Same winner.
This year, I don't know. I just saw that picture and I was like, this is it this year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I really felt that bird, that owl, was going to win this tournament.
I just like how it's like the blue eyes and it's like intimidating enough, but also like friendly and
yeah.
I really like the features of it.
I just think it's a really well designed mascot.
I agree.
The way feathers, the way that like the wings look, I think is really cool. Yeah. The way they kind of did feathers. I liked the design of the head. It's fun. It's like kind of animated, but like not too, proportions seem fine.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
A fun mascot.
Yeah. So my final four was Florida Atlantic, Owsley, Sparty from Michigan State, Shasta from Houston, and the Oregon Duck from Oregon. And then I had Owsley versus the Oregon Duck, with Owsley winning.
Yeah, and I had Owsley versus Sparty, and Shasta out of Houston versus the Oregon Duck. I ended up having my final be between Owsley and Shasta, and Owsley was my winner. Yeah. We finally had a same winner, Hannah. It's never happened.
And the same Final Four.
And the same Final Four. It was destined to be 2024. 4. It all makes sense. 2.
All makes sense.
Checks out.
Yeah. So yeah, I love March Madness. Like we've said, I really enjoy like just pulling up the mascots. We really enjoy just like going through them. We've had some really like funny things that come up just because of how ridiculous some of these mascots are.
They're just fun.
And I like that we had 22 new teams this year. Like pretty much a third of the bracket this year was a new team. And that's cool because it's cool to get different mascots. It's cool to like get new matchups and stuff like that. So we will 100% be doing this next year.
Yeah, we love doing it. It's fun. And we've kind of streamlined it where as we add notes as we go, I usually go back and listen to any new mascots added, and that way I can add notes of how we described them. Makes it a little bit easier to see how we felt about it in previous years.
Yeah.
You know?
So we'll 100% be back for this next year.
Our yearly sports podcast.
Because ranking jerseys is not a good idea, but picking mascots is great.
It's just fun for us. Mainly this is for us. We don't even care if people listen to these ones.
No. But yeah, so thanks for listening. We have our social media. We have Instagram. We also have a Letterboxd account. And our email, r3podcast@gmail.com. If you think the Jayhawk looks like a penis as well, you can let us know.
If you love Gideon or Purdue Pete, let us know.
Yeah. And we'll be back with something new. Coming
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
We would like to thank Joseph McDade for our intro music. He provides free music available for all kinds of creative use. The song that we used is called Sunrise Expedition, and you can find it and his other music on his website, josephmcdade.com. If you would like to reach us, you can email us at r3podcasts@gmail.com. That's R, the number 3, podcasts@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Instagram by searching Research Rank Repeat.